I have to say, and it's not always like this, but I think it's been fantastic. Actually, I think the ideas for the villas, from 360 to zero, was somehow because the landscape is so striking, and the view looks like a Japanese landscape painting. It was really the simplest way to almost inhabit the view by pointing out some of the most amazing locations in the topography. Yeah, I mean, I think so. We're sitting here in 180, and of course I'm looking out over this beautifully framed view of the Setouchi archipelago, which is already in itself one of the wonders of the natural world. And then, of course, here we have this vertically framed view of the Zen garden. And I do think that the material of the rammed earth, and you can see each house is slightly different because the color of the ground was slightly different, but it provides this geological canvas, and it has such a warmth that even though it is a kind of raw wall, and because the Zen garden is populated by all of the intimate functions, the bath, the toilet, the sauna, the cold plunge, there's all of these moments that it has almost like the complexity, like the archipelago, where the view is somehow framed. And then here the main bedroom is where the rammed earth wall wraps around, and you get this kind of outdoor bath, this like insanely beautiful Japanese ceramic bath in a kind of miniature Zen garden at the end. So this is already an amazing experience. And 270 is obviously amazing because the kind of private courtyard is a water garden. It's a swimming pool, and even though it is this kind of concentric courtyard made out of the rammed earth, because you have all those little pockets like the skylit bathrooms, the sauna, the cold plunge, you can never really see the whole courtyard. And sometimes the water disappears around the corner. You have two little islands that you have to swim to, or you can find another way to get to them. And 360, of course, you have the exterior pool in front of the living room, which in itself is already an experience. But then you have the courtyard with this kind of wood log circle and the bonfire, which is incredible because you almost have like water and fire, like sort of earth and air, all the four elements in a single experience. So each home somehow becomes a celebration, not just of the most amazing way to take in the view and this kind of extraversion, but also the introversion, creating a very special microcosmos out of the same elements, but bringing it down to the human scale, the scale of the family. They have these kind of traditional Scandinavian Japanese elements of the sloping roof, the solidified earth, the stone, the wood. But on the other hand, they are very modern, like the floor-to-ceiling glass, the sliding doors that make the facade disappear. And in some way you can say they're all linear, almost like modernism, but then they're actually curvilinear because they all wrap around the topography. The wooden table, which is like, let's say, a Japanese reinterpretation of a Danish classic, it's gently curved with the same curvature as the house. So in that sense, even though the backbones is this kind of very rational, functional idea, everything is somehow warped to match the topography. during the day we spent a lot of time in 360. I saw the sunset from 270, and then finally, like with my son, I saw the fireworks. You could still sort of see the silhouette of the mountains and the fireworks lighting up the bay. It was definitely spectacular. But I think, I mean, I've only now spent let's say 24 hours here, but because the air is so full of moisture, you have this kind of hazy, almost like a watercolor, where it looks like quite quickly the forested hilltops get watered down to like different shades of blue. So you end up with something that is indistinguishable from a traditional Japanese watercolor. And you realize that the abstraction you see in the painting is much more naturalistic than you expect, because reality actually produces the same level of abstraction because of the humidity in the air.